G'day. I've got a Seadoo Gtx300 2022 model. I'm going to install the wing mirror navigation unit, Garmin 65CV. I thought I'd make an instructional video, just how I go about it and what's done. Here's the brand new unit. I'm going to pick this up yesterday. Going to install the Garmin 65CV. This is the same unit that Seadoo provide, but I've just bought this directly from the local boat shop. This retailed for $7.99. This is the bracket that you require. You need to order this part number from Seadoo. This is also need this part number. This is for the wing mirror. That's the cover. You also need to order 2 bolts, a hex screw 10 by 7/8 and a hexagonal cap screw MX by 35. Expensive buggers. This is what's coming off this mirror. This cover comes off, then the mirror comes off, and the unit gets mounted here, and cables get run underneath here through the hood, then into the hull. Okay. So to start with, we're going to lift the hood up. It's very easy to drop screws and stuff accidentally down here, I'm told. So to start with, we're just going to throw a protective cover over that. So I've just thrown some old bed sheets over the unit so that if I drop any screws, they're going to land here and not fall down into any of the panels. And also protects the side because in case I'm leaning against it. Now, to start with, to get this, you start with this top mirror cover. There is a bolt up underneath there. You can see, and we start there. Okay, that's the bolt out. Now this cover, there's a tab here which is locked on this, and there's 2 tabs under here. So the whole mirror, this whole cover's got to pull out that way. It should hopefully come off. That wasn't too bad. Next, you've got to get this mirror off. To do that, what I've got is a fishing knife. It's a filleting knife. It's quite thin, a bit flexible as well. This mirror is held on with a double-sided foam tape in here. We're just going to run this knife in here and try and cut that foam off. So I've just run the knife down there and I've split that foam. That's all there is in that. Mirror's still okay. There's one bolt here which comes out. There's the mirror still. Pull this bolt out. Next, this is the bracket. That is just going to fit over the top there. Like that. This bolt goes back in here. throw that sheet. This last bolt has to go up here. If you're going to drop a bolt, it's going to be that one. It's going to fall down here behind that panel if you're not careful, so make sure you got your drop sheet down. Like that. And that, my friends, is how quick and simple that section is to do. That's what we're left with. We're going to start, there's a cover which goes over this, that goes on last. The next step is to run the cables through here. And they're in that unit, in that box over there, so we'll get that out shortly. And they are going to run through here, down here, through a hole there, then under this hood. So we'll see if we can get this hood off. Now, to get this hood off, there are two bolts. One over here and one here. Undo them and the hood should just slide off that way. Somehow.
Easy. It's just a couple of clips here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the cable out of the box. Unfortunately, it's not very long, so we're going to have to extend that. We're going to run it back to the battery. The alternative is to tap into the wiring harness just here, but we'd rather not do that. You can buy an adapter wire piece for there, but you need to have the matching plug. We're not going to bother mucking around with that.
So this goes through here. And that goes through there. So pull it through, Keaton.
Something new. Looks like a charging cable in the new model. Battery charger. For a battery tender, I'd say. So to get this cable through, what we're going to do is just, I've pushed a bit of flexible conduit down that port, and it's fed itself down through here, and it's come out the back here easily. It was pretty straightforward and easy to do. Okay, the cable's not going to be long enough, so we're just going to extend it. We've soldered and put some heat shrunk over the fittings, just extending the cable so it'll go down to the back of the boat. So the cable's been run. Here it is here. We're not installing the transducer, the sounder transducer, whatever you call it, because we only want GPS. But if we did, we'd run it along here as well. So that's just going to run in through there, through that port. And we've cable tying the cable, and we've run a bit of conduit down the down there. And that conduit self-fed, it was very easily came out the back here. So we're just going to hook that up, and we've got a fuse here which came with the sat nav, and I'm just going to weld that onto the end of the line there and hook it directly onto the battery. What have we done there, Tomo? We've run the, pulled the electrical conduit through and a cable, and we've put the fuse on the end of the cable with a bit of heat shrink with glue in it. And that's going straight onto the battery, onto the active in the battery. That's onto the neutral. Okay, we just hooked that up to the battery. That's our inline fuse there. Put a bit of yellow battery terminal spray just to stop any corrosion that might happen. We did find that that nut didn't quite reach the bolt. Sorry, the bolt didn't quite reach the nut when we put the extra terminal on there. We had to put a little spacer under the nut just to lift it up, just until we can get it started. Next is the mounting bracket. This is what came in the box. Get Tomo to pull that apart and fit it.
Instructions are.
Just putting that screw up underneath the cover. Once again, keeping all this area covered so we don't drop any screws down the cavities. There's the unit mounted. Just got to put the lock nuts on there. Just putting a bit of Teflon on the threads to stop the those nuts can vibrate loose over time. So the Teflon will just help keep them locked on. One of the points of corrosion is always these terminals. They're very fine, and any salt water that gets into there, and that's the end of it. This stuff, Tef gel, is the duck's guts. Sticks like you wouldn't believe.
A little brush in the kit to put them on with hot.
Oh, here's a bigger thing there. A stringy ass. Good. Once we fill off the back of this stuff with it as well.
Note the implement for doing it.
Cable tie.
Perfect with the little flat surface.
This will save you a lot of heartache. All right, big moment. Tomo?
Let's see if it goes.
Zzz.
Up the right way.
All right, so that went on beautifully.
Okay, 2 bolts in there.
The hood just slides back on under a couple of pins, locating lugs.
Look right, a bit further.
Doesn't look right here, no.
Oh, might go under that. That looks a bit further out, doesn't it?
It's not in right. It's much better.
Yeah.
Here's the finished product. Everything went together as it should. This looks fantastic. That's the unit that we've purchased from the boat shop. What I've noticed about this unit compared to the standard one from Seadoo is that this one comes with maps and all the navigation icons and the channel markers, whereas the one from Seadoo didn't have any of that. It just had just a blank map, and you had to go and pay extra for the mapping. So pretty happy with that. Welcome to Australia.